go. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Knights of Eveningstar here on D&D Twitch. I am your Dungeon Master, Mark Hulmes, and I'm joined by four fabulous people, one of whom was trying to throw me off before we started, but it didn't work. Sneaky boy. Didn't work.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Who could I mean? Who could I mean? I am
Someone
joined
was in this
by...
call, and they just jumped right out.
They just jumped straight out. Starting out with that good boy who never does anything wrong, Nate Sharp. We also have Jonathan Indovino, a.k.a. ShadyPenguinn, Anna Prosser, and, of course, Mica Burton as well. Hello, my dear friends. How are we all? How are we?
Good.
Ready
I have
to...
new dice.
Ooh, let's see them.
I have labradorite dice.
This
I don't know if you can,
could either go very good or very bad.
You can kind of see the like blue glow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a face focus, but there you go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh,
nice.
She's pretty.
We do love a new dice, don't we?
Look at that shine. Oh, yeah.
Is this your first roll with these dice? Is your first game?
No,
Okay,
I played with them before, but I just forgot to show you guys.
Gotcha.
And I got them from this cool. I don't have it, but it's a geek therapy company that does like therapy and counseling specifically with gaming principles incorporated. It's really neat.
That's nice.
And I had the brochure here so that I'd be sure to remember the name so I could tell you guys about it. And then
now
I think Nizki's sleeping on it.
That, to be fair,
Well, that's more important, obviously.
Very, very important.
Informative and comfortable. That's what I look for in a company. Very good.
Yeah. Self-care.
Sure. Excellent. Anything from anyone else? Is everyone good? Good week?
My hair disappears into my shirt. That's all I have.
The void consumes it. Yeah.
I feel like I should fix that.
Yeah. Well, no, that's fine. You know, we can all be a black void of all consumption at some point in our lives, Mika. Sometimes you need to be a big void.
You know, that's me always. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Suck it all in.
Yeah.
What was that? Who was that?
That was Nate.
I was just going to say, I couldn't tell if that was Shady or Nate for a second there.
No, all shenanigans are either one of those two.
Yeah, that's it.
It was the void.
These naughty boys. Yeah, it was the void. There we go.
Naughty boys.
Naughty boys. All right, naughty boys. And well-behaved girls. Because, that's how it was in my school anyway. It's like all the boys causing trouble.
Toxic.
That's what you thought.
That's true. That's
true.
probably it. It's
Puppet
probably like,
strings.
I had
It's true.
no idea. Yeah, that's it.
Because all the girls blame the boys for all the trouble that they cause and get them in trouble. I mean, that was just me.
My mind is blown. That is my mind blown. That's probably exactly what happened. Would you like a little quick recap on what happened last week before we jump into it?
Oh, yeah.
Sure thing. As most of Star Watch keep dream or relax, Tarkhal is visited by a paranoid and alarmed Willowsong, who quickly warns of incoming danger and that there are secrets to be revealed. An assassin strikes whilst Willowsong tells them of her true nature and her mother's plots, and Tarkhal soon faces death as the party fend off other attackers. Conjured owls, elemental spirits, and a bridge of moonlight lead to the assassin's defeat, but it seems other forces are en route to Eveningstar proper. We pretty much left things off with you guys having defeated this half-dragon assassin and these other strange dragon humanoids with, I believe, a veteran dwarf whose name I made up on the spot and now I can't remember because I didn't write it down. So they're just called Fandral now. Fandral the dwarf. One of these kind of more veteran knights had rushed up to you guys and informed you that there were other forces that were making their way into the town. The town's, defenses are holding them off, but because you had sent many of your troops out to sort of claim territory around Eveningstar, it did mean that you had limited defenders here and that you will be needed to come and aid in the defense of the town itself. Blade Captain Ilyssa is already down in the town helping to defend it, and in particular she is currently engaging two large creatures that seem to have some sort of regenerative power, and that they need your help, basically. You are rushing to their aid. I believe that there was a very brief amount of healing. We have Azara's got her elemental spirit up. Agnis has a couple of conjured owls still remaining.
I have 5 conjured owls remaining.
Some of them somewhat hurt by a fireball.
I don't know who that was. That's crazy.
That's great. Where did this fireball come from?
Who
Whose
did that?
fireball is this?
Who would ever launch a fireball when there are owls nearby?
Yeah. And we have a very sort of, injured Tarkhal, but I believe you had received some healing. And then Clyve, of course, already in his nice new shiny armor and shield, ready to do some fighting. If there are any questions or if there are any sort of updates, now is the best time. Otherwise, we would just have you guys arrive into another battle.
I just have to say that the idle video game character Clyve has continued to bring me delight, and I have continued to laugh about it to myself with no one reminding me but my own brain. So I give
Dark
you
Souls rolling Clyve lives in my brain.
I give you inspiration for that, even though it doesn't count for anything.
Awesome.
If there are barrels, I'm assuming that Clyve rolls into them to destroy them at any opportunity throughout this entire encounter. It's like
or
barrels,
like adult pickup, like just straight above the head
yeah,
and just running
and then
around
carries
with
it around
something.
like. Yeah. Clyve is the video game protagonist that we all strive to be in our hearts.
It's true.
Mhm.
Cool. No updates, no clarifications, no questions about anything going
I
on.
mean, I have a small clarification. You did say that, Willowsong clarified to everyone her true nature. Everyone but Azara. Azara knew.
Sure.
Just pointing that out.
Yeah,
Just want that on the record.
That
Just
is
want
an
on the record.
important clarification.
Very important.
She did indeed reveal that she is a dragon. She also made it very clear that she has made a pact with Tarkhal, some sort of magical pact. And in fact, that was why he was in such a severe condition, because the assassin targeted Willowsong, and when the bolt hit her, Tarkhal suffered the same damage. It seems that whatever harm is inflicted on either one, so harm inflicted to Tarkhal is reflected to Willowsong, and any damage to Willowsong is reflected to Tarkhal as well. If you've seen the movie Dragonheart, you know where I got that idea from. Very excellent movie. Sean Connery plays the worst dragon ever, but it's great.
I forgot that was Sean Connery.
What's it?
Nice.
It's like, Sir Bowen. Sir Bowen, there's something in my teeth. It's ridiculous. It's great. You should watch it. And that was kind of where we got to on all of that. But because of that bond, she has basically said, I cannot be in that battle. I am limited in my powers. She seems to have been locked into a humanoid form, so she claims. You have no idea whether that's true. And so she has basically secured herself in the keep, in Starwatch Keep, whilst you go and deal with these creatures that seem to be attacking Eveningstar. It does seem that this.
I gotta say, I have a lot of HP, right? I know I'm a rogue, but I took the tough feat, so I have a lot of HP.
Yeah, you got like over 100 HP,
over
right?
100 HP, right? And I got downed, and Willowsong did not.
No,
So
she didn't.
she's kind of thick.
Yeah, not
Kind of thick.
there could be some arguments of like, she seems to be immune to poison, but still there is also the matter of like, I mean, I'll tell you this, she didn't look that injured. When Tarkhal went down, she barely looked, not that harmed. Certainly not.
I just wanted to make it known that I realized that, because I feel like maybe those watching might think that I'm a dum-dum and that I wouldn't realize that, but I picked up on how thick Willowsong was, and I just wanted to make it vocalized. That's
Also,
all.
you have over 100 HP. I have 68.
Yeah. I don't,
Tarkhal's tough. He's a
What?
woods boy. Yeah.
I slept on twigs and rocks, okay?
And I guess
My
Azara
whole
slept
body's
on feather
calloused.
pillows.
How much more? How much over 100 though?
I mean, at least more than one. It's two. Just two over 100.
I was going to say,
There
because
is
it's
a
like,
more than one.
how close to Clive's hit points are you?
No, that can't be. He's a barbarian. I can't. No.
He's a barbarian.
Just making sure.
Just making sure. Cool. Well, in that case, the cinematic shot here then is we have you guys kind of running, following Fandral, this dwarven knight, as he leads you down the dirt path that leads from Starwatch Keep down onto the Maid Road that crosses the stone bridge into Eveningstar proper. And it doesn't take long before you can see shadowy figures, because it is nighttime. The moon is out and the moon is kind of casting a very dull silvery glow that enables you to vaguely see, but your eyesight, your dark vision kind of gives you some benefit, but there it is still limited, and you see shadowy figures, and you can see a large number of them gathered on the bridge, and there seems to be some sort of skirmish happening on the bridge as you guys are arriving. You see two enormous, maybe sort of, 9-10 feet long, but also maybe like 12 feet tall. These weird draconic aberrations. They look like they are almost like parts of animals blended with dragon. They have the sort of muscular sort of forearms of a bear. Their face is twisted into various different sort of animal and plant-like creatures. They have these draconic wings and a big draconic tail. And they are currently in the process of fighting a small number of militia, your guards, your actual soldiers from Eveningstar. And you can see on the far side of the bridge, you can just barely see the flashes of Ilyssa's full plate armor and her greatsword, as she seems to be fighting one of these things on the other side of the bridge, along with what appears to be one of those draconian style, these dragon humanoids. Not quite a dragonborn, not quite a half dragon, some strange mixture of the two, who is blasting with sort of beams of purple magic. You can see them sort of firing off spells and things like that. That and one of these large creatures on one side of the bridge. On the side of the bridge that you are on the side of the river that you are on, there is another one of these large abominations and only 2 soldiers, and they are struggling. You can see that the soldiers' weapons, as they kind of plunge them in and pull them free, the creature's wounds are just regenerating. Like these normal swords and shields and spears just don't seem to be having too much of an effect on this creature. Its wounds are rapidly healing. And it's kind of tearing. You can see that several of them have been injured already. And that is pretty much where we're going to begin. There is a little battle map. I don't know how much we'll show it for you guys on stream. I'll try and narrate everything as we go. But yeah, Fandral the dwarf will say, "This way, my lord and ladies, Magister, warden this way," and he points, and he's going to join in the battle with you as well. For this battle, Mica.
Yes, I have Ilyssa.
You have Ilyssa up. That's perfect. So I'll add her into the initiative, but if you can control her. So I'm using some stuff from a good friend of mine, Matt Colville's design, which is that this is a kind of character that doesn't have necessarily the same normal stats as an NPC. She has like health levels rather than hit points, which means that she can take, blows a little bit easier, and she's just not going to go down in one hit. She can do a couple of cool things, but she kind of only has like one attack that she can do, but she has a couple of cool things that she can do to help you out, because I don't want her to kind of like steal the limelight as a full character, but she is there to help you, and you can decide how her actions go and stuff like that. And with that, we are just going to I'm just going to put in Ilyssa here, and with that, we are going to roll initiative.
Can I ask one more clarifying question?
Of course you can.
I know there's a bridge involved.
Yes.
As fans of season 1 will know that I care about. What side of the bridge are our enemies on? And what side? They're on both sides. And
so you have the river. The river is forded by a stone bridge now. It was rebuilt with stone because you have the quarry.
Same bridge?
It was that bridge, but it's been replaced by a stone bridge because the first one burnt down because it was wood.
Because it was wood. No other reason.
No other reason.
Mysteriously.
It has been replaced by a stone bridge. So you have the Starwater River. The bridge spans it. There's kind of like a raised flat section because it's quite a big river. It's sort of 30, 40 feet across, this river. So the bridge is considerable. You have one of these huge creatures basically on either side of the bridge, blocking the bridge itself. And then just behind the large creature on the other side is this draconian mage who is fending off. And Ilyssa and at least 4 soldiers are on the other side, and 2 soldiers are on this side with you guys.
And this side is the side away from the town.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, there.
Okay.
So it's the Starwatch Keep is just like it's only like 5-10 minutes away from the town, but it's over the bridge and it sits up in the in the hills, basically looking down on the town.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
Thank
let's
you.
get some initiatives then, please. Azara Mithras.
14.
14. Tarkhal Crownsilver.
19.
19. Agnis Crownsilver.
I was too excited about my spells. I roll a 1, so my initiative is 4.
Oh, lovely. Clyve of the Wildmane.
13.
13. Perfect. And then does Ilyssa have an initiative stat actually, Mica? I don't know.
Save,
not, I've
skill, signature stat. No.
No, okay, that's fine. I've just got her at an 18 then. So So that is where we're going to go. And none of you guys, so you guys are going to run on at the very edge. You're basically witnessing this fight as you guys are running. We're going to have the initiative, the kind of combat start as you get to the point you are in the map, sort of maybe 30 feet away from the enemy, because it is nighttime. Your vision is somewhat hindered and things like that. The first thing to go is actually the mage on the other side of the bridge, and they basically, you just see that whilst Ilyssa is trying to order her troops to kind of focus on this beast and try and focus on its weak points, it just points this kind of purple ray at one of your troopers, one of your soldiers, and they take like a nasty blow. Like one of the soldiers is nearly blown back by this attack, you see that like the soldier kind of like gasps in pain and like rolls backwards as their kind of arm is blasted by this necrotic purple ray, and he just sort of stumbles to the ground.
Am I seeing the wrong map? I see all of Eveningstar. I don't see a battle map.
Haha, that's because I hadn't moved you over yet.
Okay. I was like, wait a second.
That's my fault. Sorry.
No worries. Now I see it.
Now you see it. That's my fault. I forgot to move you guys over. But yes, so you see this Draconian mage kind of like, and it tries to kind of blast one towards Ilyssa. However, she manages to kind of like roll to the side and it glances off of her armor. Then the two large creatures are going to go. These things seem, despite their size, and they are massive, you know, these are like giants almost, you know, they're huge creatures, long and tall with powerful limbs and these big wings. They without any other kind of like threats, they do turn on your soldiers as much as they can. And the first one is it kind of like swings one of its large claws, and it strikes one of the soldiers. And you watch as that soldier, the one nearest to Ilyssa, just immediately goes down. One swipe of the claw just sends him flying off of his feet as he tries to plunge a longsword into the creature, and it just sends him flying. With its tail, it's going to whip round towards Ilyssa herself. This is all on the far side of the bridge. However, Ilyssa's, stalwart armor, she brings up the greatsword and kind of throws the blow off to the side. And then finally, with its acidic spit, it's going to try and spit acid at one of the soldiers furthest away. It looks like some of them are already somewhat injured. And the acid coats one of your soldiers and melts them. This poor injured soldier looked like that they were bandaging their arm or looked like they were trying to take a moment's respite. And this creature just spits this glob of acid, and you just watch as they are evaporated, just turned into mush goo. On the other side, the side of the bridge closest to you, however, this creature seems to sense a greater threat, and it kind of looks up and sees you all running towards it. But the first person it sees is the dwarf Fandral, this kind of knight who's come to collect you, and it's going to spit acid at Fandral. It's going to hit Fandral. However, the dwarf, the tough dwarf manages to kind of tank most of the blow, and sort of absorbs it like on his arm, and then he just throws his arm to the side, kind of letting the acid hit the ground in a hissing spittle, and just kind of grunts. Meanwhile, the creature, claws one of the soldiers next to it, and is going to try and tail swipe the nearby one as well. And you can see that these things, are definitely extremely powerful. One of the soldiers does manage to bring up a shield in time. The shield shatters on his arm, but he does manage to avoid the blow. And then the tail comes around and tries to swipe the other one, and that's a natural 20. I think I'm just going to kill that soldier. He's going to go to 0 straight away from a critical hit from this thing. As the tail just comes slamming down, you probably hear bones snap as this soldier is just slammed into the ground by this powerful blow. I'm going to mark the ones on the map who are unconscious, because they will. I will make death saving throws and stuff for them, because I have a feeling that you guys would want to try and save your soldiers.
Yep.
And that's going to be it. So we go to Tarkhal. So those guys. So all of the enemies are basically going at the top of the round, and then it's just straight into you guys. We have Tarkhal, Ilyssa, Azara, Clyve in that order. So Mica, you want to think about yours, and Ilyssa's go next, please.
Yep.
Cool.
Wait, does this big beast know I'm here?
It at least has, seen you as you've been running down towards the hill. It doesn't know that you are there for now, but if you wanted to try and hide or something now, you certainly could.
Okay. Can I run over here, which is 30 feet, and use this brush to hide in as my bonus action?
Absolutely. That's what your character does. You're a rogue.
Perfect. And then I'm gonna chuck my Kiss of Silver at the lad.
Well, give me a stealth check first.
Okay.
It might still see you.
15 plus 12.
No,
27.
It doesn't see you. You kind of like seem to disappear into the foliage, your green cloak coming over you. You could almost, there's probably a little element of like the trees almost seem to like bend around you as if they're reshaping themselves to try and hide you a little bit better as well.
I like that. Well, I will roll for my Kiss of Silver toss, which is 25 to hit.
25 hits, yeah. This thing does seem to be large, and it does have tough armor, but its size does kind of give it, it does have weak points in between these dragon scales, because you can see like patches of fur, and you can see patches of like weird, like fleshy skin that seem to be easier to strike.
Cool.
Give me a total damage.
Yeah, I need to do it IRL because of my sad things. So
That's
7, 10, 13, 19. It's 4d6, right? I haven't done an acoustic in so long. For sneak attack?
Whatever it says on your character sheet. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay, so 19, and then my poison activation. Actually, Tarkhal will choose not to activate the poison.
Ooh.
Okay. I need to check if you have a choice in that, but either way, these things, the poison does not seem to affect them.
Hold on. Willowsong's gift. Once during each of your turns, when you hit an attack roll, you can deal an extra 4 poison damage.
Oh, there you go. You've used my own wording against me.
Get ruled, Mark.
You choose not to use it, which is makes it, yeah. So you watch as the Kiss of Silver does sink in, and then you watch as the magic dagger flies back to your hand. The wound is beginning to heal. Like you can see this regenerative effect trying to heal the wound straight away. But that's its turn. So anything else on your turn, Tarkhal?
No, that's it.
Okay, Ilyssa then. We have Ilyssa. And any questions about this, Mica, do let me know because I know it's going to be...
Yes. Special actions, are those like full actions, not bonus actions?
Yes. So yeah, it's basically that replaces her action. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. As Ilyssa, how helpful have these soldiers been so far?
I mean, they are what she has to work with, but Ilyssa is tactical enough to know that this thing is incredibly strong, that it's seen, her soldiers, kind of falling around her, and they just can't hit it hard enough to cause enough damage for it to, like, not just be able to regenerate the damage they deal. She's basically, it looks like, because Ilyssa's not stupid, like, she is a tactician. She's basically holding these creatures here so they don't go into the town or up to the keep. Like, that was her goal, is to basically like not let them get away.
Gotcha. Okay. Knowing that, then she's just going to attack it.
Sure. So she can use a signature attack, or you can use one of her special actions.
I'm just going to do the signature attack.
Sure.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Yay. 2d6 plus 4.
Oh, great sword.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of slashing damage.
13 points of slashing damage. So yeah, like, and I'll still roleplay Ilyssa. Ilyssa is like calling things like fall back. Like, and she's kind of like now calling to some of the ones behind her, like, throw your spears at its wings, don't let it fly away. And she's calling out these tight tactics, but she's trying to withdraw her forces now that she can see them obviously being injured.
And me.
And then you, yes. Yes.
Yes, good, yes.
Good, yes. Very good, yes.
And we did establish last time that I can have both a spiritual weapon and an elemental.
Well, yeah, because I think spiritual weapon's not concentration, right? So
no, it is not. And it's a bonus action.
You had a water.
Elemental, yes.
Yeah, let me grab a token for you for that as well.
You
go ahead.
That feeling when you realize it's a bonus action.
It's a good feeling. I'm like, it's a bonus action. Good to have. I'm going to stay where I am. In that case, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon, which is my little fan thing, at the 5th level. So it is 2d8 plus 1. And then for my action, I'm going to swing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The spell, do what spells say. Spell good.
Bonus action, I can move the weapon and repeat the attack against a creature.
There you go.
Wait, so
So if it's a bonus action to summon, I think it does say, if I remember in the spell, and I will check this, when you first summon it, you get to make an attack with it.
yeah, when you first
then
summon the spell, you can make a
So on subsequent turns, you can then use the action to move it and attack with it, basically.
yes, the bonus action.
Bonus action, yeah. Because you
Yes.
can't do 2 bonus actions in the same round.
Right.
But as part of casting it, you get to immediately attack with it.
Wonderful. So I'm going to immediately attack with it,
Okay.
which is 2d8. 8. 15, right? Because 2 8s.
It has to hit as well. It has to hit as well. 'cause
Oh, it
it's a
has to
spell
hit as
attack.
well. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to keep that roll just in case it hits.
Yeah, keep that roll.
21.
Yes, that will hit.
Cool. So then 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, 15, 16. So 16 total force damage.
16 points of force damage as the kind of blade cuts through some of the dragon scales.
Does it heal from that?
It does seem to still be healing. Like the force damage doesn't seem to make any change to that.
Darn it. So that was
But
my whole.
Between you and Tarkhal, like
Mhm.
you don't think it's going to be able to heal all of the damage you and Tarkhal have just dealt. Like
Okay.
it's not going to fully regenerate, but it is healing itself.
So that was my whole turn,
Mhm.
correct? And then my water spirit will go.
Okay.
22 to hit.
That will hit.
And it's 1d10 plus 9. 15 points of what does he hit with?
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning damage. Yes, not
Yes.
fire because it's not a fire spirit.
And that's non-magical bludgeoning damage, so that is just going to be a little bit less damage. It is resistant, as this kind of course of water smashes into the creature. It does seem to be somewhat resistant, but it still damages it.
Dope.
This
And
big
that's
watery fist.
That's it for me.
That's it for you. We have Clyve for the Wild Mane and then Agnis Crownsilver at the very end of the round.
I see big thing.
You see Big Thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna go hit big thing.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you can get there easily enough. Yeah, easy. So you kind of rush up. There's like one of these soldiers. You're kind of next to the crumpled, unconscious body of one soldier, and then the other one whose shield was broken by this thing's claw. You kind of rush up in between them. And yeah, I'm assuming rage.
You assume correctly.
I did think so.
All right. So we gonna swing that Ebonscorn. And that is a dirty 20 to hit.
That will hit. Add another D8 of damage to this as well.
All right. So then it's 2d8 plus 5.
I love it.
Where is another? There we go. Hey up. Oh, there, 4, 5, 16 total.
16 points of damage. I mean, between all of your attacks, you have torn, Clyve's blade cuts like a jagged, gash across this thing's belly. You can see the spiritual weapon has cut up all around its throat. The kiss of silver is like embedded itself into it probably punctured into like an organ at the side, and it is swaying, like really struggling to kind of keep up at the moment.
+3. Sorry, because of the rage.
+3 because of rage. Nice. Yeah, like this terrible gash just rips it across the stomach.
And then second attack time.
Does it look more affected because of the Ebonscorn or no?
The Ebonscorn is definitely doing extra damage to it, and as Clyve, you strike Ebonscorn across it as the black blade kind of carves across this creature's belly. You feel something in this blade, like you feel satisfaction, you feel gratification, you feel vengeance. You kind of get these vibes from it as it rakes across this thing's flesh.
Oh, something. Well, that's a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
So let's do if it ain't broke.
You guys' rolls are on fire.
Don't jinx us.
I rolled a 1. I've only rolled
true.
a 1 today.
16 points of
total.
damage. Okay, so you watch Clyve as you plunge Ebonscorn in. You kind of like thrust with it and like drag it open. The creature, you can see that where it's been like made of this amalgamation of different creatures and things. As you pull the blade out, it begins to like retch, like it kind of like begins like making this heaving, retching sound. And from all of the wounds that you guys have caused it, and from its mouth, it like spews acid, and it's going to catch. It's probably going to do it towards Clyve. I don't think it can actually hit everybody. So it's going to catch Clyve, the currently healthy soldier, and the dwarf Fandral. I need you guys to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh, it's an insta hit.
Oh, it's saving throws. So it's like it
Yeah.
sprays out and then you're going to make a save.
Uh, 23.
Okay, you're going to take half damage from this. I'm not even going to roll it for the little mini soldier. He's just gonna get. Ugh. Yeah.
Aw.
So that's going to be 27 points of damage. Halved to you, Clyve, that's going to be 13 points of acid damage. As even though you managed to kind of like resist the pain of it kind of spraying all over you, you do begin to feel it kind of eating away at some of your fur and at your armor and things like that. You do watch as, this poor soldier is just engulfed in acid and it's just like, and just collapses to the floor in pain.
Aw.
I just
leave
look at
him-
my arm. He's just, I'm like, oh, itchy. And I look over to this man being eaten alive, like, oh.
And then that's going to be 1. And then the dwarf Fandral does like take a hefty, like gets covered in this acid as well. But he's still up. And I'm going to actually have him go after Agnis because him and the soldier should get a turn as well. But Clyve, anything else? That thing, by the way, the creature, by the way, now looks like, I would call it bloodied. It's at half health, basically. You've torn through like half its hit points. And when it reached to half health, it basically like spewed all of this acid blood and vomit everywhere.
Aside from telling this acid-riddled soldier to try and walk it off, I think I'm good.
Did you roll your wild magic, by the way, for your
Oh
rage?
my goodness!
Oh
How
my
could I
goodness.
forget?
To be honest, I forgot up until now. So
All right, that is a 2, which every single time. I don't know why this is so hard for me to find.
you're up next, Anna, by the way.
Grand Wild Magic Table, the power of the
Wild magic
internet.
table.
That is, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
Nice.
Oh,
Do you want to go
Okay.
to the other side of the creature then and like basically appear on the bridge? So you're like behind it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
makes sense. Like whoosh, in this kind of burst of wild magic, Clyve, Siri Witcher style, appears behind the creature. And then we go to Agnis.
Agnes is going to, since the creature on this side of the bridge seems to be well in hand, she's
Mhm.
gonna kind of go to the side, kind of hiding behind the elemental spirit just to make
Mhm.
sure that she's not super exposed. And then because she's thinking about just wanting to protect the city first and foremost, she wants to keep anyone from progressing beyond the bridge. So she's going to cast Erupting Earth underneath the 2 creatures on the other side of the bridge. So that's it's a 20-foot cube where Earth
Mhm.
just goes underneath them.
Oh.
And they're going to take 3d12 bludgeoning damage on a failed Dex 16 save. And the ground becomes difficult terrain until cleared.
Yeah, so you can basically hit both of these without hitting any of your forces. So you watch as like the stone and the earth itself just kind of erupts into this mound. You probably will need the mason to come and just repair the bridge a little bit on this side, but it will certainly slow these things down. So sorry, what kind of saving throw was it?
Dex 16.
Dex 16. Well, let's do it for the they don't look particularly agile. So the mage attempts it. That's a 4. That's a failure. And then the abomination. 13.
All right.
Both
so
fail.
3d12. Where's my d12? Oh, there. I feel like I rarely use a d12.
It is a rarely used die. The old poor D12.
All right. So that's
Lonely
8,
little boy.
18. And another 8. So 26 bludgeoning.
26 bludgeoning damage. Bludgeoning damage, the mage is like thrown up into the air, and you hear this kind of it's thrown up into the air. The abomination, however, like it does seem to resist some of that because it is just bludgeoning damage as it kind of pummels into its body from beneath, but it doesn't quite knock it off kilter. But you see Ilyssa like having, she can hear fighting, but now she looks over and sees you, and she's like, Lady Crownsilver. And she's like just calling out basically like, sort of to you.
My intention was to get it so that the abomination was completely in the difficult terrain so that it will at least affect them if they try to get out. So like, oh wait, I can draw a shape. I can do that. Like,
so like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
okay.
that.
That's cool. So yeah, basically completely engulfing this creature and just catching the mage on the edge of it. And you do see it kind of like looking down at all this this earthy ground beneath it. Cool. Anything else, Agnis?
No, I don't have any fancy bonus actions like Azara.
Okay.
Sorry, I can loan some to you.
That's okay.
A little bit.
It was pretty cool what I just did.
It was pretty cool. It was
cool.
A little bit slower. Fandral the dwarf basically runs towards the abomination on the side of the river with all of you guys, and he throws the body of his injured soldier behind him, and then he just raises up like this kind of square tower Romanesque shield, and unhooks an axe from his belt, and he's just going to try and swipe underneath as best as he can. This is going to be a flat D. I don't have stats for this guy, but he's not going to be amazing. Give him like a +5 bonus. 19. It's still going to hit. So let's do 1d8 +3. Oh, 4 points of damage, halved. Lovely. Good job. Fandral, he swipes into the creature's, underbelly, and it does sort of, nick one of its legs, but that wound basically just immediately heals up, and he's just like, damned creature, and he's just kind of, mumbling and grunting to himself. But he is basically trying to protect the acid-covered soldier next to him as best as he can. Right, enemies. The other, normal soldiers, they can't really do anything. I'm not even going to roll for them. They are what they're doing is they're basically stopping this thing from just flying away. They're trying to throw their spears into its wings. They're trying to pin its legs to the ground. And even though it kind of pulls them free, it does stop them enough from being able to run away, but they're not really going to be able to do damage to this thing. Ilyssa's basically just trying to get them to get the injured and get out now. Now that she can see that you're engaging, she's just like, go, take the injured and go. The mage will turn around and having seen this, all this earth that's been thrown around, he's looking around for who's done it. He's going to look in your direction, Agnis. And he is going to, hello. No.
Oh, what about my owls?
Oh yeah, you got your owls as well, haven't you? How many did you have?
5.
They were giant owls, right?
Yeah.
And there's some of them are quite injured, if I remember.
Yeah, their health is 19. Wait, where'd it go? I just had it. 881.
Okay. So I'll just put, so you guys, I don't know if you guys can actually see their health, but 8, put that one on 8. I'll put that one on 8. So there was 2 on 8, 1 on 1, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 were at 19. They were at max. Okay, cool. All right. I've put those on the battlefield now. We'll have, maybe they were flying in. They were flying in behind you guys, and we'll add those to the next turn. But this spellcaster is going to, he's going to turn around to you, Agnis, and with these kind of crackling purple rays, he's going to try and shoot 2 necrotic rays at you. That is a 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Shoots you with his purple beam for 14 necrotic damage. Blimey. And then, he'll do it again. That's only a 7 to hit, however.
That does not.
So he's these 2...
The owls flap their wings and blow the beam out of the way.
As they come swooping in. Yeah, the first one hits you, and then the owls come swooping in as he does that. And then I think the mage is going to spend 5 feet of movement to get out of the difficult terrain. And then he's just basically going to go. Where does he want to move to? Actually, no, he's going to move along here, and he is going to. Where do you want to go? What's his movement speed? Not great. He's
The
gonna
audience
get to the
can't
very
see the map we're
edge.
using, right?
I don't think so. He basically runs up onto the middle of the bridge. I was going to describe it. I was just trying to get it in my head. So he kind of like moves out of this difficult terrain, this churned earth on one side of the bridge, and he scrambles up to the apex of the bridge, which crosses the river. So he's like stood in the middle of it. So now he can kind of get a good vision all around. And he pulls out like a kind of small cork bottle, and he's going to just chug on some of that. He's going to heal himself. As a bonus action.
Don't do that.
Oh, brilliant. 4 hit points. Good job, buddy. You love to see it. Right, now the bigger stuff goes. Let's do the abomination actually on your side. This thing is just going to go on a bit of a rampage. It's going to make 3 attacks. It's going to slam Clyve with its tail. It's not the smartest thing in the world, so it's going to claw the elemental spirit, and then it's going to spit acid at probably Azara, because Azara it can see like moving this little fan thing around, and it doesn't like that.
I'm so far away from him. Come on.
He's spitting acid, dude. He just goes. And
I don't know if he's that talented, but
well, we'll see. Clyve, that is a 13 to hit you with his tail.
That's a nope.
That's a nope.
Duck and roll.
15 to hit the elemental spirit.
That's a nope.
That's a nope. And then 23 to cover Azara in acid.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'm rolling these rolls, man.
Fine. Yes, that's a yes.
Oh, that's nasty damage as well. 14 points of acid damage as it like whoosh, this globule of acid in your direction.
Super fun. Super fun
And
times.
it will heal up a little bit at the start of its turn, as will... Oh, no, that was the wrong one. And then this one will do the same. Yeah, they both are healing, but it's not as quick as the damage you guys seem to be piling on. The other one, which is currently kind of surrounded by all this dry earth, having just taken a heavy blow from Ilyssa, it will fly. It actually just flies up into the air, so Ilyssa will get an attack of opportunity to it.
Oh, okay, that's me.
Yes. It's gonna go.
It flies.
18.
It flies. It has wings. So it's got those wings.
Does 18 hit?
Take offense to that,
18
Mark.
will hit. Yes. What's
Awesome.
that? Why?
The penguins have wings.
Well, you know, do they though?
What? Okay.
Wow.
That's fine.
Wow.
Oh. Wow.
That's 10 points of damage.
Why you gotta go after my owls? I see you measuring distance to my owls.
10 points of damage. So Ilyssa does manage to, like, as it takes up into the air, she kind of like tries to swipe at it with her greatsword. Even though the kind of soldiers are like throwing their spears, it senses these, you know, incoming threats. It flies, and it flies kind of awkwardly. It's not a particularly quick flyer, but it does manage to kind of hover up into the air. It's maybe flying about 20 foot above the river, and it kind of inhales, and it's gonna like spew out acid in a 30-foot cone, which is going to hit the owls and then Agnis.
Wow.
It only hits the first 3 owls, however. 2 of the owls will be unaffected.
Gross.
Yes, so I need Agnis and the owls to make Constitution saving throws, please.
All right. For Agnis, we will get 19.
All right, half damage.
And for the owls, con is +1, so they get a nat 20 for that one. That's my favorite.
First
owl.
one, okay, that's uninjured owl.
That's
Second
an
one.
11 for the second one,
That's a failure, but that is also an uninjured owl.
and 20 for the third one.
All right, that is a injured owl at 8 hit points, but it's going to take half damage. And in total, that is going to be, so it's 27 points of damage for anybody who failed the saving throw. So that second owl is just poof, it evaporates into mist.
Goodbye, owl.
And
Have a
then
good trip
half
home.
damage is going to be 13. So Agnis and one of the owls takes 13, and then another one will also sadly vanish as it was on 8 hit points. Okay. And then 13, so that's going to have 6 hit points left.
So the owls are now 6, 19, 1?
No, because it was the 2 19s that got hit. One of them was destroyed because it failed its saving throw. You have 1 on 6, 1 on 8, and 1 on 1. It was the 8 and 1 that didn't get hit.
Gotcha.
And then you took 13 as well.
Mhm.
And that's it. That's its action. It can't do anything else on that turn. We go to Tarkhal Crownsilver, who is currently hiding in the bushes.
I'm hiding in the bushes, and I'm going to throw my little knife towards the big boy. And I learned that I can roll digitally if it works. Okay, it was 24 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Then it's 27 total damage,
Whoa.
7 piercing, 20 sneak.
But it's a magic weapon, isn't it? So
Yeah, it's magic.
And you see the creature kind of as this tiny little silver needle kind of stabs into it, but it leaves this kind of resounding blow that causes it to roar and echo. And these things seem to have no idea where you are, Tarkhal. This one tree, you're like moving around it, and they look, and then they don't know you're there, and then you move around. Like, yeah, they're clueless.
Okay, and then I want to I want to move a little bit whilst it's still remaining hidden. Just want to get like right here in this tree.
Yeah, you're using the tree line as cover. If you are stealthing, it's going to be half movement though, because you are kind of like trying to stay stealthy, right?
Let me see. Yeah. Oh, can I just? Oh, actually, no. Because if I do that, then I'll be sad. Okay, never mind. I can move here if I'm a stealth man.
Yeah,
right here.
Otherwise, you'd have to make another stealth check. Like you could move like your full distance, but you'd break your stealth, and then you could try and hide again.
Distance, and I'm making a stealth check.
Sure,
I'm confidence, baby.
I really hope you roll a 1.
I rolled a 12 plus
12.
$1
million. Yeah,
so
24.
Plus $1 million.
Would 1 plus 12
like,
actually not remain hidden? Would 13 still not do the trick?
13, the mage would know where you are.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, we have Ilyssa, Azara, and then Clyve. Ilyssa's looking pretty injured though. So is Agnis.
So is Azara.
That's what I meant. Sorry, Azara and Agnis are looking injured, not Ilyssa. Ilyssa goes now, then Azara, who looks injured, and then Clyve, then Agnis.
Okay, Ilyssa is actually, since the mage has moved, she's going to move within 30 feet of Clyve. And commanding strike him. So tell him to...
what does that do? You tell us.
Ilyssa makes one signature attack and chooses one ally within 30 feet who can see and hear her, and the target of her attack, that ally may make a weapon attack against the target. So Ilyssa instructs Clyve to bash the dragon mage's skull in.
Okay. She's not going to be able to get in range of an enemy herself, so she doesn't get to make an attack, but Clyve can still make an attack against the dragon. Yeah, sure. We'll do it that way. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool.
And that's her whole turn.
All right. So Clyve, you get to make a free attack against this thing.
Cool.
Like Ilyssa, it's like, Warden, strike it in it. And she's like calling out like, it's weakest at the base of its tail or something like that. She calls out some weak point that she's identified.
Sick.
And seizing this opportunity, you're like,
I'm still raging, so is it advantage?
You don't get advantage on attack rolls for rage. No, it's only on strength checks and things like that.
Oh, right. It's the other thing. Okay.
Unless you want to do reckless attack. But you have to do that on your turn.
Yes. That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yes. You have to say you're doing that.
22.
That's still a hit.
Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. Which target am I swinging at right now?
This is the big dragon creature.
Yeah.
So you get an extra D8.
Just making sure.
Yep.
Ooh. 8, 9, 10, 11, 19.
19. Is that including rage?
Yes.
19 points. So you watch as Clyve kind of like swings Ebonscorn down and it strikes, almost severing its tail as it takes a swipe at him, thanks to Ilyssa's kind of call out at just the right moment. Yeah, you watch as the tail is like ripped as Clyve attacks it. Awesome. Ilyssa done. Azara.
Yeah. How far does this go? That is, it's only 30 feet. I'm not 30 feet close yet. So I'll save that for later. I'm going to cast 10 feet. Yeah, I'm going to cast Shatter on the, how hard is this big chonky boy looking?
It's looking pretty bad now with those with the Tarkhal strike and Clyve's extra attack there.
Yeah.
And you can see it's already wounded. It was already at like half health when it kind of spewed acid everywhere. It's like stumbling around, like, you know, its tail has almost been cut off. It's bleeding. You know, its regeneration can't keep up with the damage it's taking.
Right. You know, then I actually changed my mind because the other one's not looking as hurt, right?
No, the other one is barely been hurt. It's only really Ilyssa who's managed to actually injure that one,
then
and it's been regenerating.
Quicken this spell.
Okay.
Where is that? Right, -2. Confirm. And I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on. Actually, I'm not going to quicken the spell because I want my bonus action, so I take that back. I'm just going to cast Guiding Bolt on the big one.
Sorcerer's got a lot of shit they can do.
That's I know. Fine. It's too much. I'm sorry.
Yep, it's within 60 feet.
Yep.
Guiding Bolt.
And that is +6 to hit. I'm guessing 19 + 6 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Didn't want to do the math there. I'm casting it at the 5th level, so there goes all of my 5th level spells. That is 8d6. I don't even have that many.
Nice. 8d6. And then the next person who attacks it gets advantage as well with Guiding Bolt.
Yes, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 points of radiant damage.
31 points of radiant damage. You watch as this kind of brilliant bolt of energy flies out of Azara's hand. It strikes into the creature, like tearing, not like stitches, but you can see like parts of its flesh where it's kind of joined draconic scales and bestial fur kind of just rip apart, and like this acidic blood begins spilling out of it. It lets out this like, and it's now illuminated by this soft, pale blue glow. So the next person who attacks it has advantage.
I'm going to, for my bonus action, have my spiritual weapon hit the already pretty hurt one right in front of it.
Yes. Yep. The one next to Clyve and the elemental spirit. And
21 to hit.
21 hits.
Yay. 2d8. 6. That's 10 plus 11. So 11 force damage.
11 more points of force damage. I mean, both of, like, yeah, this one now at the sort of foot of the bridge, that on your side of the river that you've been fighting, is stumbling around. It can barely keep its eyes open, but it's still fighting with this kind of like animal ferocity, like this desperate will to stay alive, as if something is driving it. Still alive, however.
Well, that's the job for my water spirit, who goes now.
It does, yeah.
15 plus 9, I'm assuming hits.
That hits.
Cool. And then 1d10. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points of bludgeoning. 17
points. I need to remember that when you take damage, you got to do concentration actually for that elemental spirit, because it is concentration. But the water spirit, 17 halved would be 8 points. Oh my god, it's got 1 hit point left.
Damn it!
This spirit kind of like brings these watery fists down, and you hear like neck bones snap, but this thing has just enough strength left to maybe get off one blow if it gets the chance. Yeah, it was. I had to check because I was just like, oh no, it's halved. Yeah, and I was like, it's got 1 hit point left.
Oh, close.
But yeah, this thing is weak as hell now. As the water spirit kind of like brings this deluge of watery fist down upon it. Anything else, Azara?
Unfortunately, no.
All right. Well, it's Clyve the Wildmane next, who is right next to it, but it is looking like very weak now, Clyve.
So, just for flavor, a question for the DM.
Yeah.
This is a bridge over this water. What would it take for me to be able to drown this thing?
The dragon in front of you?
Can I like just grab this thing and bring it under? And
I mean, like, so you can make a 1 HP. Yeah, you can make a grapple attempt as one of your attacks. You can then move half your speed while you're carrying it, which as a barbarian, you can totally get it to the water's edge. And then, I would say that you just hold its head under, and you've basically got to try and drown this thing.
Okay, so
that's awesome. This is, you need to... I would say you don't even need to roll to hit it. So this is just going to be strength. This is just going to be a opposed strength check. You can use athletics because you are initiating the grapple. And then, this thing will just roll its strength.
Let me see here. Okay. Does either my rage or anything?
It would give you advantage on the roll because it is a strength ability check. Yeah.
That's a nat 20.
Oh my god.
So 28.
In its
20's
weakened
always
state,
smile on him.
like you almost like the way I described it is like you almost cut its tail off, right? So like in its pain, you grab it by the tail and it just like lets out a thing, and then you kind of reach up, grab around its neck, and you just drag this thing to the water. So you can go 5, 10, 15, and then you basically, I mean, it's a river, so like the shore isn't enough, but you can get its head and you can shove its head under. Its body is still like up on the land, but you've got its head and you're holding this thing underwater, and it's so weak from its wounds, it's like trying to fight you off, but like it is like under there. But you're probably gonna have to hold it under for at least like a few more seconds, like maybe like another round to try and finish this thing off.
Would that have? So that would have been a check and not an attack.
Well, it's one of your attacks, basically.
Oh.
So, like, but you could, like, whilst you're drowning it, like, punch it and stuff
I'm
like that.
I'm literally going to punch it in the back of the head.
Sure. I would say that, like, by doing so, you basically knock it unconscious, and then it can't fight back. So you just, like, hold it under there until it's gone. It's
so
brutal. It's like,
It's still
This is a very
bubbling, so I just
violent
kind of.
episode.
I feel like as well, Clyve, like as you're doing this, because you're holding Ebonscorn, like you punch it and you begin just feeling like this, like this sword wants to like kill this thing. Like this sword wants to get the finishing blow. Like it, you know, like you can sense that, like, you know, like there's this need to not necessarily feed, but it wants to hurt this dragon. Like you can feel the blade like wants to make this dragon suffer. And you feel that. But is that what you want to do? You want to spend your turn just like punching this thing and holding it under the water and drowning it? That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like to imagine everybody's like stops fighting and is like watching this happen.
Yeah, like Clyve drags this thing to the water. Like he punches it, he drags it to the water, and then he's just plunged this like draconic head, like this creature, this abomination, and he's holding it onto the water.
I'm imagining like a Jabba tail, like
it's very Jabba. It's very Jabba in Return of the Jedi. I love it. All right, well, Agnis.
Well, I don't want to be hit by poison spit again. So I'm going to run behind the bushes that are near my owls and try to take cover.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah,
then,
you can take cover from behind the tree for sure. You can get like 3/4 cover behind there.
I'm going to do that. And then Azara set me up with this awesome guiding shot. So I am going to use Galathir the Guiding Light, and I'm going to I'm going to return the favor synergy by doing spell guiding shot, so that if I manage to hit this, then there will be a spell attack advantage for her.
Look at this. This is beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like tennis. Attack tennis.
Yeah. So you have advantage on your attack roll now with Galathir, and then you get to do the spell guiding shot. If you hit a creature with this arrow as part of a ranged attack, it outlines the target in silvery light that pulls magical energy towards it. For 1 minute, any spell attacks made against the creature have advantage, and the target has disadvantage on any dexterity saving throws against spells. And then you regain the use of this arrow when you spend a short rest and expend a 2nd level spell slot or higher to renew it.
But it really sucks when you roll 2 3s, which means that 11 is your roll for attack.
That's unfortunately not going to be enough. So the kind of silvery arrow forms, you launch it, but these things are, the scales, whatever it is, either seems to repel the magic or something like that. As it kind of deflects.
I'm like, hold on. I'm re-knocking an arrow. Hold on.
Yeah.
Don't count that
one. Don't count it. That is unfortunately. Oh, no, it's when you hit, I think. It does say when.
It is when
if you
hit.
Yes. Yeah. So you can use it. Yeah, okay. So.
But the owls can still go.
Owls can go.
So
owls can fly in.
Our brave owls are going to go surround the flying abomination. And they are going to use their talons. They have this thing where they can, what is it called? Flyby. They don't provoke opportunity attacks when they fly out of enemy reach.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so they can fly and do an attack and then they pull
They're doing
off.
like a dive bomb and leave kind of thing.
Yeah, like whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first owl rolls a nat 1.
Okay.
The second owl gets a 16. And the third,
16 just hits. Yep.
And the third gets an 18.
They both so 2 hit.
And their damage that I have to roll when I find it again is, let's see.
I think it's
2d6 plus 1.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah, okay. So, first one does 5. Second one does
will be halved.
6.
Okay, so 3. So they do fly in, and you can see their talons kind of rake along the creature's back as they kind of fly past, all kind of shooting off in different directions as birds of prey do as they dive bomb into it. And their talons leave these kind of deep scratches, but unfortunately, this creature's hide it seems very much like the soldiers' spears and their swords. Like the owls, just their wounds, their damage isn't quite deep enough to cause permanent injury to this thing.
They're doing their best.
They're doing
really
their best. They've those owls have done a lot. They've tore
survived
apart
a lot longer
draconian
than I thought.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they've been great. They also you can see that these abominations aren't particularly smart, and it's now like looking away from you, Agnes, and is looking at these 3 flying things that it is like, it's angry at. Okay, anything else, Agnes, on your turn?
No, that's it.
All right, Fandral is going to step over. And he's going to throw his hand axe at this flying thing. Ha! He's just going to throw this. That's not bad. That's 19. It's going to hit. And then D8 plus 3. It's 11 points of damage. So half that is going to be 5, which is enough to get this thing to half health, which causes it with nothing around it. Well, that's the thing is this thing kind of erupts in acid, and the only person it can target is the dwarf who's just run up and thrown the axe, and he's just coated in acid again. I'll roll a save for him because he does technically have a decent. He's got a bonus to this. No, he still fails.
I barely know you, but I care about you.
I know, I'm sad that you are dying, even though your name has changed so many times.
So many times. He does, unfortunately, go to 0 hit points as he runs up, lobs this axe. He's like, don't leave it to me, my lady. Yeah. The axe goes through. It impacts the creature in the chest. The axe falls into the river, and then the thing turns around and just vomits acid all over him. And he's just like, just like rolls around in dragon sick.
None of us can remember his name. So I was like,
just some random
bar snack.
Ilyssa probably calls out his name, but that's about it.
And we're like, yes, him, right?
Him,
yeah.
that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the mage on the bridge is looking around at this fight, and you see its kind of expression grow a lot more concerned, and he is going to kind of begin gesturing, muttering draconian words, and then he vanishes. He turns invisible.
No, I was going to cast Fairy Fire on him, and I didn't do it soon enough.
And then as far as you know, he's making a run for it, because he's like, oh, these guys are fucking up my big dragon creatures. Run away! Cool. The flying dragon, the creature that was attacked by the owls, is going to it goes after the owls because it thinks like flying predators. I'm going to try and take these things out. It flies up to 1. It's going to make a claw attack. 16 to hit owl.
Double checking, but I'm pretty sure that it does hit. Yes, it does.
That's going to be 17 points of damage total, which this one had 8, by the way. So that one vanishes. It's
Have then going to use
home.
Enjoy
the rest of its movement.
Thanks for your help.
Another claw attack. That's going to be a 17. That's going to be 10 plus. That's another 17 points of damage. I'm pretty sure this one had 6 as well. And then it's going to try and spit acid at the last remaining one for another 16. And that one's going to take, and I think this is the one with 1 hit point. Yeah, it is. So all 3 owls, this thing kind of like flies up to 1, woof, cuts into it with its claws and it vanishes. It flies up to the next one, woof, turns that one to mystical fiery dust, and then it spits its acid at the last one, and all 3 owls are now gone. However, that was its entire turn, and it's now looking confused, like where these owls have gone, completely unsure what's going on. Clyve, that you drown this one. Like, on its turn, I'm just gonna have it die because, like, it's unconscious under the water and you're holding it there. It dies. It has ended its turn.
Sweet.
You hear you like choking sounds and stuff like that coming from below the water, and that's it. Tarkhal. There's just this flying one left.
I have to apologize to my party and to everyone that's ever watched any word I've ever said. I forgot that the whole reason you play a rogue is for assassinate. And when a creature is surprised, it counts as a crit. And I have not been doing that for who knows how long.
I don't know if you've had many opportunities to do that, because surprised isn't just like surprised is a very specific thing where they have to be completely unaware of you. So like just being hidden doesn't give you the assassinate thing.
Okay, then never mind. I take my apology back. I hate everyone.
You don't need to take your apology back. You've been doing it correctly.
Okay. So surprise is a very specific thing.
Yes, surprise is basically they have to be unaware of you, and it basically is like the first like turn.
Like
basically,
outside of combat is just about to start.
It's like exactly right. It's like you've snuck into the person's room and they're asleep, and you get to like do crit damage to them, or like they're completely unaware of you and you strike them without them even knowing it. Being in combat, just being able to detect you isn't the same thing.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. Then forget it. I have a question though. How tall is this bridge? Like,
I would say it's not like, the thing is the river kind of goes down, right? So from the banks, it's maybe not even 10 feet. It's like 7 feet up because it's like a sloped curve. But then the banks of the river go down. So
okay, and then how tall is the beginning posts? Like right here. Like how tall is this post?
Those posts are like, maybe sort of chest high.
Okay.
At best.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't know if this man can see me, but can I attempt to hide behind this 5 foot tall bridge so I am hidden, and then I can toss my dagger while being hidden?
You can. I would say you can certainly try. Keep in mind with your knives, though, you will be throwing at long range, which is disadvantage.
Oh, it is disadvantage even though it has the 60 feet. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, because it's a 30 foot and then 60 feet. So up to 30 feet, no problem. Anything over 30 feet up to 60 feet, you have disadvantage. It's the long range of the weapon.
Gotcha. Then...
so it would cancel out, because if you do hide, you would have advantage because it doesn't know where you are.
True.
So you'd have advantage for that. Okay. So it would just become a normal roll. So no sneak attack, but it would just be a normal roll.
But that's no damage. How long is this... Yeah, but it doesn't make me feel good. How long has this man been on the floor bleeding out?
I should have been making death saves for him. Let's do some now. Success. Oh, he's probably been down about 12 seconds, 18 seconds. He looks okay. He doesn't look too bad. Yeah.
Okay.
What about the other guy? Yeah, he's looking all right too.
Well, can I, instead of moving my 30 feet there, move my 30 feet here and do a medicine check to pick him up?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can do a medicine check. Yeah.
Because, the damage that Kiss of Silver does, no disrespect, Kiss of Silver, but...
it's a dagger,
It's a dagger.
Without sneak attack.
It's in its nature to be subpar. Yeah. Okay, so 12 plus... Oh, -1. 11.
11, it's DC 10. DC 10 to stabilize the creature. So you do manage to kind of you wipe off the acid, which is burning at his skin. You kind of water from the river, you scoop up, you kind of clean off the acid, you bandage his wounds, you wipe his, and you think he's going to be okay. He's going to survive.
Okay, cool.
This was the one that was actually crushed by the tail. So yeah, this one's probably you kind of setting his arm and making sure he's not going to choke or anything like that. And yeah, he seems to be okay.
Sweet. And then I believe I can dash for a bonus action.
Yeah, if you don't hide, yeah. Yeah, if you do
I'm not going to hide, but I'm going to dash into the water. Can I do that?
You can. As soon as you get as soon as you get sort of 5 feet in, you're swimming, which is half speed. You're
okay, so then hold on. So let me do this. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then I can only get here.
Yes. So you're starting to swim across the river, basically.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And then end my turn.
All right. right. Ilyssa's turn. I will say for you, Mica, because the mage turned invisible. Invisibility doesn't mean people can't detect you.
Okay.
Ilyssa does vaguely know where he is, but she'll have disadvantage on all attack rolls against them.
Right.
They're sort of at the very edge of that rough terrain that Agnis created on the far edge of the bridge.
Okay.
So because she's heard like footsteps and she can see a faint outline kind of thing. But
Gotcha.
yeah, disadvantage on any attacks against it.
Okay, well, she's gonna go for it.
Okay.
First one is a
She just gets the 1.
16. Oh, just one.
Just 1, so but with disadvantage.
Right,
so.
okay. Right. No! I got a nat 20!
That's the 16. Is that the total 16, by the way?
To hit, yeah.
So that is just gonna hit this thing, actually.
Yeah.
Just barely.
But there was a nat 20. My dice said yeet.
Yep. Dice said yeet.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Invisibility says no yeet.
Oh.
Neat.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 points of slashing damage. And I would imagine that Ilyssa would also call out to everyone that this is
It's
where.
here. Yeah. She's like, I've got the creature, I've got the mage. She calls out. So now we go to your turn, Azara. Then it's your spirits. Like Mika's playing 3 different things.
If Ilyssa's hit it and called it out, do I have disadvantage?
So this is where invisibility gets tricky, right?
Yeah.
If a spell says a creature you can see, you can't use that spell against a creature because you can't see it, right? You can target it with like a ranged spell attack, but you have disadvantage.
But I have disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wish I was closer to it. I wish.
Nickety D.
Oh wait, I can move. Why? How far can I move?
Moving is a thing at 30 feet.
30 feet. I want to get. Okay, I can go. Everybody should be able to see this. Show to others. I can go.
You can get to your spiritual weapon, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go where my spiritual weapon is. And then another 30. That's 70 feet away.
It is.
He's 70 feet away.
He is.
You know, then fine. If he's going to be like that. That's a bad idea.
Fireball.
No, that's an even worse idea.
When in doubt, fireball.
When in doubt, fireball. Is it possible?
Yes, there is also one dragon still flying up in the air, I should point out, or abomination.
There is, but I don't want to do that. I want to cast Ice Storm.
Oh.
Here. It's a 30-foot circle. What does that look like? Because I don't want to hit the soldiers or Ilyssa.
It's big.
Is that too big?
Is it 30-foot radius?
It's a 20-foot.
Okay,
20-foot radius.
Still pretty big.
It's still big.
But you could totally, you could do it like that.
Yeah. I want to get where it's not. Can I make a circle? I can make a circle.
It's like
there. Something like that.
It's about that big.
Oh.
It's a 20-foot radius.
20-foot radius, so it's 20 foot on each half. Yeah. So you can just about do it. Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I would like to do that. I would like to use all of my day's charges of Ice Storm.
You carefully see where one of the injured soldiers is. You see where Ilyssa is, and in your kind of magical sorcery sense, you know that a column of ice will just about fit in between these points that you think will catch this creature.
I'm hoping.
So saving throw, I'm assuming.
Yes. I can't retcon that. That would have. Because I wish I was going to transform, but never mind. It's fine. That's a bonus action. Can I do that in between?
You still can. Yeah, it's bonus action.
I would like to transform into my Sailor Moon Draconic Lightning Wings form.
Using your staff?
Using my staff. Mm-hmm. And that means that I add 2 to my spell DC, so it's Dex 16.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be tough. Oh, natural 20, though.
No!
Oh, tasty.
What?
Tasty natural 20. It's still half damage, right? It's normally half damage on spells.
It is.
Ice Storm. A hail of rock-hard ice pounds the ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. Creature takes bludgeoning damage and cold damage, or half as much damage to a successful save. And the area is difficult terrain until the end of your next turn as well. So you have slowed them down as well.
Perfect.
So yeah, it's going to be 2d8 bludgeoning and 4d6 cold, and then we'll half it.
Dope. So 2d8 is 6, so that's 3 bludgeoning.
3.
And how much cold damage?
46.
4d6. That's 12 plus 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So 11 cold damage.
You watch as kind of this storm of ice, hailstorm and blizzardly winds fill this area of space. That tree is completely frost-ridden, probably going to die off.
Sorry, I'll plant another one.
You watch as this formerly invisible draconian, this kind of like, it just appears like half frozen, like the T-1000 in Terminator, just like, and it just appears no longer invisible because he dead.
Yeah. Oh, yay! That was unexpected.
Yeah, this guy was pretty injured, and combined with Ilyssa hitting him and then an ice storm falling on him, he's just like, yeah.
I was expecting it to tickle him a little bit. That's pleasant.
No, this guy didn't seem to be. You didn't even really see him giving orders. He seemed to almost be a bit of a sort of babysitter for these creatures. You don't get the impression that this is necessarily the mastermind behind everything. Yeah. Still, Azara, anything else on your turn?
No, because I used my bonus action, so I can't instruct my fan. It's the elemental spirit's turn, but it's a melee attack, so.
And it can't fly.
Nope. So he's just kind of angry.
Chilling.
He just goes like this.
Yeah, he's like,
bruh. 5 of the Wildmane, followed by Agnis.
All right. So could it be a free action?
I love it. Whenever Nate is like, DM, could I? I'm like, I love this. I love whatever is about to happen.
If it won't cost me anything, out of this freshly drowned dragon, can I pluck a tooth out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. You just reach in, snap one of these. And it's weird, like some of the teeth look like animal teeth, and it looks like that they've all been manually sort of placed. So some of them are like wolves' teeth, some of them are bears' teeth, but you do see one which you think is like a dragon's tooth. Like it's bigger, it seems to have like poison, like sort of like coming from it in some way, and you grip that and snap it off, and there's this foul smelling sort of ichor, like a hollow cavity, but you pull it free, and you've now got a dragon's tooth.
Well, that's interesting. I'll pocket that and
sure
log that information away.
Yeah, absolutely free action to do that. That's cool.
Yeah. So okay, so there's dragon guy flying.
Yes, on the other side. So on the other side of the bridge, you're currently on one side of it. Sort of on the other side, nearest to Agnis, where her owls were and things like that. There is one of these dragon creatures flying about sort of 20 feet up in the air. Yes.
Okay. I feel like with it flying, there's not much I can do.
How high can you jump?
Also, don't forget, you currently have your bonus action. You can teleport, right? Because that's your wild magic thing.
Oh, I forgot that'll like carry over. Yeah. Okay, so could I teleport?
I dropped a dice.
It's teleport to an unoccupied space, right?
Yeah.
But what if I wanted to teleport to an occupied space?
Well, you could. It says unoccupied space, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you this one for free, Nate. The space above it is unoccupied.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, that's an unoccupied space. 5 feet above it is unoccupied.
We're all learning how Nate thinks.
Sweet. All right. Do I have?
So you could move action to get to like on the top of the bridge.
Yep.
And then from the bridge, you could land like on its back, like the rear, like the back end of it. You could teleport to that.
Grab its tail.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, I wanted to see if I could like teleport, and then when I appear above it, already have Evan scored like face down and just land on him with it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Sick.
I mean, yeah. You just teleport. I mean, so what's going to happen here is so you move action to the bridge. You bonus action to teleport above it. You make your 2 attacks as an action. And then I'm basically, at the end of your 2 attacks, if this thing is still alive, I will give you a dex save to basically try and grab onto it. If you fail that, or if it's already dead, you're going in the river. That's how this is going to work. And you will take full damage.
Swimming.
And you're going to take some full damage. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're on it. 2 attacks. First one is a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
All right. May I attack recklessly? Oh wait, no, that'll be on the next one. That'll give advantage.
Well, you could. The thing with reckless attack is the best thing to do with reckless attack is do it before you make any attacks that round, because it affects all of your attacks and then any attacks against you until the end of your turn. So it means that you all of your attacks this turn would get advantage.
Gotcha. Okay, so
if you want to retcon it and say it, no, you can do it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Sure. I think plummeting from the sky counts as a reckless attack. I would say.
No, that's super, super safe. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's totally safe.
Yeah.
Same rolls, so.
Yeah.
Let's see. 23 for the first attack.
23 damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And then second attack.
So with advantage.
Come down. I land on him.
Yeah, and it's like maybe like the blade.
Try to do it again.
Or like I kind of imagine it like the blade goes in and then you're kind of like you slide around the creature with the blade still in it, and that's like your second attack.
Oh.
So technically already, hit the creature, but let's see if it the blade comes loose or whatever.
That would be a 19 plus numbers.
Yeah, hits. Yep.
All right. 16
points of damage. It is still alive, heavily injured. So make a dex saving throw for me.
All right. And would you say I see this happening, in that I see that I'm trying to stay on a dragon?
You do not get danger sense of this.
No.
This is not an effect. This is like a grabbing onto it kind of thing. I think no.
Okay. Uh-oh. A strong 10.
10 is not going to be enough. So this thing also is like trying to throw you off, like it senses you on its back and it kind of flicks you off with its tail. You're going to plummet sort of a good 20 feet down into the river. You're going to take a little bit of fall damage as you impact the surface of the water hard. It's only 4 points, so you take 2 points of damage because it's going to be halved. But you land in it's a decently speedy river. Like this is like a main river from the mountains. It's not like a slow river. And you do get sort of like washed down river, at a speed.
Taking fall damage, I would like to activate my unstable backlash then.
Nice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I love it. Because who knows what this means? Flump for beers.
Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You gain a +1 to AC while within. While within 10 feet of you and your allies gain the same bonus, which I am near nobody. So,
but you're just surrounded by lovely, lovely, lovely lights as you. Like your mane is like completely drenched. It's like stuck all over your face. You can't see.
I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Does Clyve have the kitty passive where when they hit water, they immediately spring up with their legs down, like this,
and then they just get straight back in?
in.
Yeah, there's definitely a reaction. I like to think. Amazing, great round. Thank you very much, Nate. We go to Agnis.
Agnis has that arrow prepared this time. Just gonna try. Yeah, just
gonna try it again.
Just a little try. It was only advantage that one time, right?
It was against the next attack against it, so I think so. Yes.
13.
Not enough, I'm afraid. Like you've used the bow, you're trained with it, but this isn't sort of like your specialty. And your aims, your shaky hands, maybe kind of just throw the arrow off a little bit. The silvery arrow flies up.
Agnis just hopes nobody saw that.
Anything else, Agnis, on your turn?
No. Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, I want to see if the abomination gets its acid belch back. It does. And who does it want to go for?
I'm trying to stealth, by the way. Can I make a stealth check?
You
don't
can't.
want
You
it to
could.
spit
I mean,
on
you
me.
could have instead of attacking, but unfortunately, you didn't.
Okay.
Instead, it's going to kind of fly over here, and Ilyssa, Clyve are both going to get hit by an acid belch. So that's a Constitution saving throw for Ilyssa and Clyve. Ilyssa gets a +6 to this, but that doesn't sound good.
It's a solid 10.
It's a solid 10. Nice.
Or as Nate says, a strong 10.
Strong 10. And what about Clyve?
21.
21. Okay. So Clyve is going to take half of this damage, which is going to be 14 points of acid. So you don't get to half it 'cause it's acid damage. And then I believe the way that it works with the health levels and Ilyssa is she takes a health level of damage per die of the attack. And it was an 8d6 attacks. So Ilyssa actually goes down. Like she's basically like at like 0, right? She can be healed. She can be, healed as normal, but this acid coats her enough and she doesn't manage to get in cover enough time. And she is knocked unconscious as this stuff falls over her, as she is coated by this acidic attack. But she can be healed, and it's much easier to get her health levels back up. But it does mean that like she can go down to big attacks like this. That is the creature's go. Tarkhal Crownsilver. You can hear splashing coming like under the bridge, probably because there is like Clyve is basically coming towards you.
It's above. It's above.
Yeah, Clyve is coming towards you like.
So soon
Very much a cat in water too, just like.
I'm drowning, Tarkhal.
I don't think I realized how strong this river was. So since I'm right near the shallow, I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. I'm just gonna. Is this shallow now? This.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
so
the thing is, as well, is you intentionally went in there swimming, so you weren't knocked away. Clyve just landed in it, and then he got sucked back.
Okay, so I back up 5 feet towards the shoreline, and then I'm gonna like hop up onto the bridge. Can I do that in cool fashion?
Sure.
And the only enemy left is the big flying dragon, right? At the
one that just belched acid. Yeah.
Okay, so that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm probably not in range to do good thing, but I will do. Oh, no, Tarkhal doesn't want to use any of his. He doesn't.
I mean, desperate times.
I know, but he's like trying to be a principal boy, and he's like 5 feet away from being good. Okay, I will command. I will use command reluctantly. Okay. There is a look of distaste above my on my face, and my D&D Beyond. It's never been easier. Just crashed. So hold on, wait. I'm back. Command.
It's fine.
Okay. I can speak a 1-word command to a creature I can see. Wisdom 16 save. I want to say halt. I want to stop everything.
Yeah, it won't take an action next turn on its next turn. There's a couple of things, so I'm going to do the save in a second. When you reach for the magic, and like now knowing where this connection comes from, you can almost feel like you almost see Willowsong in your mind, and she's currently in your room, just sort of sat on the bed, her hands kind of clasped around her, and she looks pained, she looks nervous, she looks annoyed. In a sense as well, and when she sort of seems to sense you kind of tapping into the magic, and she looks at you, even though this is some sort of magical vision that you're witnessing this through, and you just hear her say like, she says, "I promised you power. You gave me your heart. I give you mine," and the magic comes forth, even reluctant though it may be.
Yeah,
and.
Okay. And then, I say, stop. And
unfortunately,
what do you mean? No, he's not wise. Look at him. He's bleeding out of the head.
He is. He's got a +1, and I rolled a 17 +1 is 18. So you think that like it's the magic's there, but this thing is too enraged. It is too ferocious. That the clever manipulatory magic just doesn't have the effect you're looking for. Like it's too nuanced. The creature just doesn't understand what you're trying to do to it, and it just wants to attack.
Okay, and having seen its acid spray in some sort of like cone shape, it seems, I want to use my bonus action to dash and do a 5, a 10, 15, 20. I'm going to dash into a tree in the bottom left
It's a
of-
frozen
Actually,
tree,
wait,
right?
is it frozen?
That is all difficult terrain because it is all
Okay, so then I
icy and
can't go that
frozen.
far.
So you're
I
like,
can only go
whoa.
here.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. So
Whoa,
I dash
whoa.
into an ice skating ring and I skate my
Basically,
way
yeah,
to the frozen tree.
Sounds good. You see Ilyssa kind of like, I hate the thing I hate with unconscious is you can't really role play with it. So I always do it as like you hear her like she's like groaning and it sounds like she's suffering. Azara, and then Clyve of the Wildmane, and finally Agnis.
Seeing her, possible love interest go down, Azara is going to
Possible.
We don't know. It's possible. There's still some tension there. I have a flying speed of 30 feet, so I just want to go up. I just want to go up.
You just go straight up in the
I
air.
go straight up, so I'm like eye level with the.
Yeah, you'd be
creature.
above it because it's only about 20 feet off the ground.
Then I'll go 20 feet up and then 10 feet to the left.
Towards, like this way.
Yeah.
So you go towards the bridge, basically flying sort of 20
Well,
feet.
no, I want to go to the right because I want to go to to the side up. Yeah, over there, just so I'm closer. And then I want to. What is this? Channel Divinity? What is this?
Also, you can just go diagonal. If you want to go 20 feet up, you could go 30 feet diagonally and still be 20 feet up. So you could get all the way to like the edge of the bank if you want.
Perfect. I need it to just be a mono, really dramatic, like lightning wings. And I'm going to channel my divinity.
So you watch Azara just seems to like explode with lightning energy, blue arcs of power running up and down her body, these draconic wings, these like spectral draconic wings from her back.
And at the 6th level, I'm going. How far away from this dude am I at this point?
You are like 50 feet.
Shit.
So.
Fine. Then I will do the other one. I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt, which is going to be
Oh no.
Dex 16 save.
10 fail.
Cool. He takes 66 lightning damage.
He explodes. Like the lightning bolt hits this thing and it explodes. Like it just bursts. Every muscle, every joint, every bone erupts and just scatters. There is nothing. This thing, is decimated from the inside.
I like
the
to
buildup
imagine
of power explodes outwards.
It was kind of like Storm almost, like a mix between like Storm and Naruto. Like her her lightning wings like crest and like this giant flash of lightning comes in a straight line right at him.
Yeah. Do you know what happens to a dragon abomination when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else. It's badass.
And then she gently lands after that. Yeah.
Gently lands. That is us out of initiative as all of the enemies are down. However, we do have a few injured people, so I am going to just slightly keep us in initiative, depending, because mainly for Ilyssa. The soldiers, I actually haven't rolled for. One of them is stabilized. A couple of them are looking pretty worse for wear. One of them looks really bad. But yeah, so it is Agnis next. I don't know if Agnis wants to rush in and save the day with some heals, or if you want to do medicine checks, or how it's going to go down.
I'll try to save our friend the dwarf, whose name we don't remember.
Yes. Fandral. I will remember. I'm going to put it in my notes. Fandral the dwarf.
Fan guy.
Fangrel. Fandro.
Fandu.
Fandom.com.
Xanadu. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, he's like, like covered in acid. He blinks. My lady, what happened? He's just like looking around, like, oh.
I rolled another one, so he only gets 5 hit points.
5 hit. I mean, he's grateful for those 5 hit points.
These Labradorite dice are making me work for it.
They really are. So he watches like the light comes back to his eyes. He looks up like, oh, my lady. He's like spits up like
you.
Yeah, I'll never forget this. He like takes your hand. He's just like, I'll never forget you, Agnis Crownsilver. Your name will live on in my family.
And yours, brave.
Great guy. You.
You brave warrior. Man. You.
Tarkhal. Unless, I think that's it's pretty much just going to be down to who.
Okay.
What you want to do.
So.
Oh yeah.
How strong is this current?
I mean, on your turn, I was going to basically say, like, you can just swim to wherever you want. It's only because you landed in it unexpectedly. Like, you're strong enough that you could just cat paddle your way to the side if you wanted to.
How long has our friend Ilyssa been? It's been one round, right?
It has. She's not looking great.
Not looking great, but she's not looking dead.
No, the soldier, who seemed to go down like quite early in the fight. There's a soldier on this side of the bridge. Looks pretty bad. Like there's a lot of blood. Like he's raked by the claw and he's like bleeding out quite heavily.
And then how bad does the mage's body look?
Like frozen, like injured, like definitely like stabbed and bleeding. But it looks like the cold is what finished them off.
Yeah, but are they dead or are they unconscious?
Oh, well, I mean, if you want to see if they're still alive, like normally I just have enemies die at 0, but I can make a roll if you want to maybe get some info.
I kind of want to know if he's alive.
Oh, you do you? Okay. Can you make what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 17.
17. You have a feeling that mage he's playing possum. You have a feeling that he is barely alive. But is pretending to be dead.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you've only, like, as you look at him, like, you're like, you see, like, a slight rise as if he's breathing, and then it goes still for a moment, but you just caught it.
Okay.
His eyes, flicker to the side.
I rolled a 20 on a death saving throw.
Wow.
So and then I was just like, deception check, a 5. So he's like, please don't notice me.
I wanna skate over then through this ice wonderland, and I would like to. How can I do this? I mean, I have rope on my person. I want to bind him.
Okay, yeah. So, give me a. I think this would be strength to start with because you need to restrain him first. Okay. Because he is alive, he will basically as soon as he realizes what you're doing.
Isn't he frozen solid?
He's not. That was what killed him. He's not like frozen solid.
Yeah, I wasted my crit on this. So 23.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like you grab him, he yelps, he's like, and then he desperately tries to like get away. Like he begins to like maybe try and cast a spell, but you just grab his hands, thrust them behind his back and begin tying him up.
Yeah. And I'll tell him any funny business and I will plunge my dagger into your skull.
I have to retcon something.
Okay.
Because I do want to keep this accurate to the lore from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, where these monsters come from. When he died, the mage exploded. Its scales and flesh shriveled away and its bones exploded around it. Now, there was no creatures nearby for it to take damage, but it literally, like, its bones become like shrapnel out of its body when it died.
Well, then, can I use my crit?
Alive.
So he's not even there. Can I use my crit 20 as a medicine check to pick this poor man up?
You absolutely can.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Because nobody was near him, I didn't have the effect trigger, but because it specifically says its scales and flesh shrivel away and its bones explode. There ain't no natural 20 that's bringing that guy back from 0 hit points. So
that's fine.
And you did notice it that when the others, because you noticed that the creatures that attacked with the assassin, these strange draconian creatures, they did the same thing when they died. They exploded in like energy and stuff. They seem these effects are on their death. And so there's nothing left. There's really just, I would say, probably like some scraps of armor on the mage and maybe like a half of a stave that it was carrying. The rest is just like ash and bone fragments now. But yes, you do get to the soldier. You bind his wounds. You cover up like the terrible claw marks, and they will live. They will live to fight another day. While you are doing that, however, Ilyssa makes another death saving throw. Okay, Azara Mithras.
Yeah. So I know we're still in initiative. So does my movement speed count right now?
Yes.
Damn it! Are you serious?
Yes. Yep. Because somebody's dying. Like a key NPC is bleeding out, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Also, I want to point out that Tarkhal was like, Ilyssa's only failed one death saving throw. It's fine.
I didn't know that she failed. I just knew this other guy was on the brink of death, and Alyssa's strong.
It's fine.
So I can fly 30 feet.
Yes.
Can I fly it diagonally? Can you fly me diagonally?
I can fly you diagonally. Yeah, you can get. Do you know what's great? You get like 15 feet away from Ilyssa.
Yeah. Okay. Now here's my question: if I hasten a spell,
if you quicken a spell,
if I quicken a spell,
yes,
can I use a bonus action to move closer?
You've used your move action. You can action dash, so you can use your action to dash and move your speed again, and then you can
my
quicken
bonus
a spell.
action can cast a
spell.
legitimate spell, not a cantrip. Cool.
Yeah, you can. You can cast a normal spell as a bonus action with quicken spell.
Dope. But I can also cast a cantrip if I want to.
You could, yeah.
Which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my bonus action or my full action to dash over to Ilyssa.
Quicken a cantrip.
Yep, and then I'm going to cast Spare the Dying.
Yeah. So you stabilize Ilyssa.
Whew.
Woo.
2 full 3 points. Very much so.
Calculated.
Fuck everyone else.
Also, as you're flying over the bridge from under it, you still hear.
I'm still like,
as Azara does that, we're basically out of initiative now because the NPCs can all like get medicine checks and stuff. It was mainly Ilyssa I was worried about. Clyve, it's your turn. You swim to the side or whatever it is you want to do.
I know I have the physical strength too. It's the mental, emotional state I'm in being in water. So
okay, yeah. I was gonna how does Clyve feel about water?
Does not like at all. I'm just gonna higher low to see.
Sure.
Okay. So he's gonna panic teleport because he's still raging.
And, no, because you used your thing to change it. You've got the +1 AC. You used your damage when you took damage.
Okay, then I go where the current takes me. I am helpless. Just like just the pause and the head up, like only occasionally going above the water, like.
So you all watch like Clyve just being sucked down river by this thing.
I think at this point, if we're out of initiative, Azara would yell like, "Tarkhal, please save Clyve!" And she's like cradling Ilyssa, and she's gonna start the 10-minute prayer of healing at the second level. It's 30-foot radius. However many
also you can have like there are still 2 injured but alive soldiers, and they will like go and drag their buddies. They will go and like help people move over towards you and gather people up. 10 minutes is enough time to get Clyve. One of the things though is one of the soldiers, because Ilyssa is unconscious, one of these young soldiers, a young let's say a young, not sure, non-binary kind of halfling person will little kind of like short sword and buckler. They're like, Magister Azara, the last thing Lady Ilyssa said, there are troops in Eveningstar. I know we need healing, but as soon as you're ready, you really should go and help them. There was a much larger force. We were trying to keep these things at bay, but there is another force that's gone into the city proper. I think they're managing to hold them from the defenses we've built, but they might be quickly overwhelmed.
Azara just like looks up like exhausted, like all of her high level spells are gone. She's like, there's more of them.
Yes, there was. I think the one leading them is focusing on the defenders in the town.
Wonderful. But can I also make sure that all of my friends are in this prayer of healing, because I want everybody to get this HP?
We all assume that Clyve can be rescued from the water. Tarkhal like runs down the river and it's like pulling him out, or like Agnes, what have you got?
Can I just want to run to the edge of the bridge and be like, Tarkhal, don't you want a trophy to show off to our townspeople and inspire them and intimidate the other forces? You should grab onto that dragon that you drowned and use it to climb out and then bring its head or something. I don't know.
I didn't drown a dragon. Only because you said Tarkhal, but I know you meant
sorry.
Clyve.
Yeah.
No,
I meant Clyve. Yes, thank you.
I saw Nate's face.
Just for flavor, like I want to replace his rage with like panic.
Yeah.
But it's so similar. So just like all these wild magic effects are going off as he's like swimming down.
Yeah, sure.
Like just flumps show up and explode. There's like vines growing out.
and probably eventually at some point he teleports to a bank like by pure panic. Like eventually as he gets sort of like, a minute down the river, like he eventually teleports to the shore and like you make your way back. And for the sake of gameplay mechanics, we can have all of you guys together for the prayer of healing.
And it's literally like freaking Simba coming back onto shore, like drenched, his mouth open.
Everyone gets 19 points of health.
Hooray, thank you.
Excellent. How many dice of healing is that? 3d8?
2d8. I cast it at the second level.
Okay, so Ilyssa has 2 health levels back, so she gets 2 of her 7 health levels back.
Perfect.
So she kind of comes to all the soldiers that you gather up, like anybody who can be affected by. I'm assuming you get all of your friends and then as many as you can. Yeah, they all basically start like they're taking a breather, but they are basically just trying to bandage their wounds, and then they are basically gearing up to go back into another fight. But Ilyssa, I think, is going to see the state of the most injured ones and be like, go back to the keep, get reinforcements. Now that we've dealt with these 2, now that we don't have to worry about these brutes, we can focus on those that are attacking the town. Send word. We've already sent word for the troops to be recalled, but keep an eye out on them. Make sure that they know to come back to the town. And she basically is going to send the most injured soldiers, along with Fandral, back to Starwatch Keep to basically tell everybody what's going on and get reinforcements.
Is it possible to send a soldier to go to Hulda to fetch us some healing potions and bring them to the battlefield?
So the problem is Hulda is on the other side of Eveningstar to where you guys are. You will have to fight through Eveningstar to get there. So if you did send... Now, I'm not saying you can't do it. What that's probably going to come down to is that soldier's going to need to try and do it stealthily, and that means that there's a chance that they get embroiled into the battle.
Right.
But you could definitely try.
Do we have any, we don't have a spy master or an assassin who's
not currently.
Stealthy. Never mind. It was
We're not with you, certainly.
I don't have a knife. Can someone cut off this dragon head? I think it's really important.
I'll
I
just
can,
look at
I
Clyve.
can cut it off the dragon head.
Yes, thank you, Tarkhal. Show it to our people. Inspire them.
Did this one explode too when it drowned?
No, these ones didn't. No, these ones.
The other one exploded just because of lightning.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the other one exploded because it was made. Yeah, it got hit by an incredibly powerful lightning bolt.
Gotcha.
Like it had like 20 hit points, and Azara did 66 points of damage to it. Yeah, these ones, these don't seem like the Draconian, where it something about when it died, it caused it to explode. But this one, as you get close to it, Tarkhal, I mean, it reeks. Like there is this putrid stench coming from it, and this Icarus like vomit blood, just like is burning the ground wherever it seeps out. Like this thing is disgusting.
Even with its disgusting form, I try to cut its head off, I guess.
Yeah, it would probably take some time because you've only got Kiss of Silver, right? You've only got a little knife. Like,
Yep. if I'm struggling and then Clyve walks over,
I'll
yeah, you can just
Ebon Scorn cuts through this thing like nothing, and like you feel like Ebon Scorn is like you feel this like pleasure from the blade as it cuts through its head and severs its neck.
So with that, that's more like I can tell this is how the sword feels, and it's not necessarily how I feel, is it?
No, it's not how you feel, but it is like you don't get the sense that the sword is alive. It's not like a sentient weapon, but there is this kind of like it seems to almost not be empowered, but this is the purpose it was designed for. Like you get the sense that like this weapon is achieving what it was designed to do. Maybe there's a slight sentience there, but not enough for it to be like an actual sentient, weapon or anything like that.
Is that thing's tail still around?
This one's still got its tail. It's like half cut off from where you nearly cut it off before. Yeah.
I want to finish that job and keep it.
Okay. You kind of sling it around your shoulders, like for the time being, because this thing is massive.
A manageable length of tail.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you can cut that off. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's quite strong enough that you can kind of like hook it around your neck and it will probably stay there.
Yeah, he's got like a neck pillow now.
Yeah, a little scarf.
There you go.
Great.
Just in case he gets on a plane, he's going to be real comfortable.
Nice. Yeah, like you guys, like 10 minutes, like there's like enough time to gather the trophy and stuff. Do you guys want to cast like any more healing spells? Do you want to like do anything else?
How long is a short rest?
An hour.
Fuck!
Yeah, we don't have an hour.
No, we don't.
You can hear the sounds of fighting, but I will say it doesn't sound like desperate. Like you can hear fighting, but you can see like the walls, you can see archers and things like that. Like, whatever. This isn't like a huge force attacking. So there is probably maybe not an hour, but like, you don't have to be like, oh my God, like everyone's going to die kind of thing.
Is anyone else in dire need of healing?
Not dire, but I'm 47 out of 68.
I'm not dire. I'm just over half. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think you guys are all good now, actually. Yeah, looking like your health, like you're all above half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we run back in.
Let's do it.
Heft the head above and shout a battle cry.
Yeah.
Did you want to carry this?
No, you can do it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. This
You're
will
welcome.
aid me in my stealth.
It stinks. Like, it reeks.
Give it to Clyve.
He's got a tail already. He's got dragon pots.
Okay, well, you better, inspire the people. Strike fear into the enemy force.
Oh, okay.
Agnis is like,
Yeah. Ilyssa is with you. She's going to come with you. I don't think that there's any soldiers really in a state to come with you, but Ilyssa is at least fighting vaguely fit. She will. I think she does have like a healing potion on her, so she will probably drink that because she's still quite injured. So she's got 4 health levels now, Azara. So she's actually got 4 of her 7. Just keep a note of it somewhere if you can. And you guys charge off, making your way along the dirt road and towards the kind of half-built palisade walls that are now kind of going up around Eveningstar. You can see a few more little buildings and things being worked on. And to represent this, like, there are soldiers still in Eveningstar, and they are mounting a defense. There appears to be more of those draconian creatures, although these kind of look like more foot soldiers. They look like base soldiers, just clad in like simple chainmail with spears and shields, and they're fighting on like the wooden sort of half-finished walls, or they're fighting on the ground with skirmish, like small groups of skirmish soldiers and things like that. But very quickly, Baragon, who you can see is like, fighting on top of one of the roofs with a couple of these flying ones that you fought before. Baragon like sees you and he's just like, Pride Leader, my lord and lady. And he kind of points down. He's just like, the most dangerous ones are there. And he points to sort of like the main town square. And Ilyssa basically is just like, leave the foot soldiers. My men can deal with them. Let's go take out their leader. If we can take their leader out, we'll be in a much better position to win this battle. And she's going to lead you straight in. And as you appear in the town square, you can see that small groups of like civilian militias are fending off against sort of these basic troopers. But in the middle of all this, kind of directing everything, you can see that there's maybe 4 of these like foot soldiers who just look like these kind of hulking draconian figures, clan armor. There are 2 much larger, much tougher, much stronger looking ones, like kind of like proper shock trooper brutes who have got these giant maces and shields, and they're kind of like trying to break the defensive lines. And in the middle of these 6 are 2 that stand out, clearly the sort of like leaders. One of them appears to be a normal dragonborn, not one of these draconian creatures, but a dragonborn as you would know them. Kind of a mixture of white and green. You can see parts like white scales, and then these almost like green veins that run through and under their sort of soft flesh. And they are directing the battle. They've got a huge great axe over one shoulder, and they're sort of pointing and calling things out. And then next to them is a elven figure, a wood elf. They're wearing all sort of natural looking green colors. They have a mask that is carved from wood, stylized in that of a dragon. And they're wearing jewelry. And as you approach, this figure seems to turn. You can hear the hounds of the civilians and militia barking away. But this elven figure sort of seems to turn and see you, and just sort of taps on the shoulder of the dragonborn and points. And they kind of turn, and you see the dragonborn just like, "Oh, it seems the lord and lady of the town have come. Good. Saves me coming up to the keep to meet you all." And that is
Show
where...
him the head. Show him the head, Tarkhal.
As Tarkhal lifts the head up.
Lift the head.
That is where we are going to wrap things up, I think, so we can do some shout-outs and stuff like that. And then, we're going to finish off this little attack on Eveningstar next week.
You know what's interesting, Mark? I remember back in the day, maybe it was like season 2, you were like, I really want to do some series of fights to push you guys to your extreme and see when your spell slots get low. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. He hasn't mentioned it again, though. I see we're doing it now.
It's one of those things where when you DM like quite a lot, I've been picking up on things that I don't do well enough. And one thing I've noticed with stream games, it's very hard to do lots of encounters, like to kind of slowly wear people down. What I tend to fall into is big fight, long rest, big fight, long rest, big fight, long rest. And it really throws off the combat balance. Like the game is very much designed around having multiple encounters to kind of put you to your limits and actually make things a challenge. So I did want to try that with this. And I think it's like it's worked out roughly, because I feel like you guys still have like a lot of things you can do, but it's now at this kind of like, right, fuck, man, like this is going to be tough. Like we need to really figure this one out. Because I know like Agnis has still got a few things in her pocket, and like obviously, rogues and barbarians can just constantly put out what they can do. So,
but Azara used her channel divinity thinking that we were done.
Yeah, so it's but this is where like maybe the cantrips are going to be useful, or like more sort of like support spells. The elemental spirit is still up. Like you've not lost concentration. That thing is like earning its spell slot back tenfold.
And my fan is still up. My spiritual weapon.
Yeah. So still all to play for. But yeah. We'll see what happens, and this will be the last one. I promise this is the last combat. Like this, these are very much the leaders of this attack on the town. So this strange elf and dragonborn and their soldiers. So yes,
Huzzah!
Cool, huzzah!
Fun.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here to play.
Thank you for having me again, non-contractually. I really enjoy being here with you.
Non-contractually, I have fun.
I genuinely enjoy being here, but I know you don't really want me. I'm just kidding.
Hashtag sponsored.
Wow.
Hashtag ad. Hashtag
I
D&D
feel
partner.
attacked. I'm still bitter about the penguins. All right, I'm still bitter. I'm sorry we can't fly. Penguins can't fly, right?
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, because your name's Shady Penguin. Dude, it's like 1 a.m. for me, and like I'm managing a combat. I've got a million things going on. I'm like moving stuff around on the map. I've got an encounter over here. I just think you're just Jonathan to me. I'm just like, that's Jonathan. That's my buddy.
Fair. You're right.
You can't expect him to also get your puns. Come
No,
on.
that's an unfair expectation to
Asking
place
too
upon
much.
my British friend. You're right. Okay.
What you can do though, Shady, is you can tell us all about yourself and where people can find you, and start off this week's shout outs.
Hi, I'm no less of a man because I can't fly, the same way penguins are no less of a bird that they can't fly. My name's ShadyPenguinn, and I do a lot of things, none of which may interest you. But in case they do, you can go to twitch.tv/ShadyPenguinn, and I do a lot of yelling at pixels. That's my whole life. I'm going to tag
Capturing
Anna.
small Pokemon.
Catching
small
creatures.
monsters in balls.
Thank you, yes. And yelling at them when they die.
Yeah.
I mean, faint. Sorry.
Yeah, don't say that.
I know.
We all know though.
My job is not yelling, but speaking at sometimes pixels and mostly people. So if you need something hosted or someone to talk or to teach things about talking, you should hit me up. The best way to do that is my website, www.annaprosser.com. And right now you can see me talking on shows like this, or on Wednesdays, I do a show called Cup Dates on my own channel with Christina Wolfgram, which has been really fun. And I also run a clothing company called Cantrip at cantripbrand.com with Nate. Tag Nate.
That's me. I was muted. I don't have much going on. So
Streaming.
Streaming. Twitch.tv/NateWantsToBattle. And there you can watch me play games. That sounds fun.
That is what a lot of people do on Twitch. Yeah.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Attack Mica.
Hi, I'm Mica Burton. You can find my stuff at Mica Burton on most platforms. I don't scream at or talk to pixels. I talk words that are printed on pages, which is why I can't talk about anything I'm doing because everything's under NDA. So you can watch my horseback riding on my Instagram account, which is at Mica Strides. My first competition is in jumping. My horse named Aragorn is going to be in March, and I'm very excited. We're going to be in jumpers, and I'm going to try not to tear my ligaments, which I did a couple months ago. I tag Mark.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can find me pretty much mainly on Twitter, Sherlock_Hulmes. You can also check out my other D&D show that I've been doing, which we realized it's 6 years I've been doing High Rollers D&D, which is my other D&D show. 6 years we've been running that, so that's been 6 years since I first met Anna and Nate at the stream. It wasn't the stream, it was Stream of Annihilation was the first one. 6 years, long time. But that's my other D&D show.
First D&D live ever.
That was the first one, yeah, and like that's like for me like still such a iconic key memory and thing in our career. Like that was like the moment I was like, we've made it, we've done it
with that voice.
Yeah, well, I've done it with that's how I used to speak 6 years ago. Mica, please don't make fun of it.
Sorry, you're right.
No, you're right.
I've come from across the ocean.
I've come from England. But yeah, no, you can come and check that out every Sunday, 5 p.m. GMT, 9 a.m. Pacific. What a great way to start your Sunday, watching a bunch of British people play D&D. Or you can find me on Twitter, like I said. And that's pretty much it. That's it from me. Thank you very much, so much for everybody for watching. Thank you, White Text Friend. And thank you. We will see you all very soon for another episode of Knights of Eveningstar. Take care. Goodbye. Mwah.